On Sunrise, protests and vigils held across the Portland Metro in response to shootings by federal agents. What demonstrators are saying this morning. Plus, a health warning in Lynn County. What to know as the state reports its first measles cases of the year. Your news starts now. Good morning and thank you for kicking off your Sunday with us. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Thomas Schultz filling in for Libby Dowsett alongside Corey Johnson. And Corey, if today is anything like yesterday, it's going to be a nice day out there.
Well, you're definitely going to be in for a treat today, Thomas, because it's going to be very similar in the way of dry, mild conditions. This is a look from our Rose City camera early this morning. Cloudy start to our Sunday, kicking off a new week for us out there. 43 degrees, a nice calm wind to match it at this time. Taking a look at our temperatures, sitting similarly across the board. 43 in Kelso, looks like 45 in Astoria, 34 in the Dalles, and 40 right now in Salem. This is our Providence Park camera. Again, another cloudy view. We do have some rain in some other areas that we are keeping an eye out on. This is a look at active radar. Now, if you were watching Sunrise yesterday, I told you we would have some light rain near southwest Washington and near the northern Oregon coast. And it looks like we do, according to active radar, especially around the Vancouver area, Longview, Tillamook, getting some sprinkles at this time. It's not going to be much rain, and it is going to stick around, I'd say, on and off throughout the day. So digging into Futurecast, across the Willamette Valley, we do stay rather dry. But again, as we go throughout the hours, light rain across those isolated areas I told you about. As we get closer to the early part of the afternoon, the sun will come out, the clouds will dissipate just a little bit for us before they return. And then the light rain also returning in the evening hours. We do have dry and mild conditions, though, as we get into the rest of the week, plus some warmer temperatures. I'll break it all down coming up.
Thank you, Corey. In the wake of the shootings by federal agents both here in Portland and in Minneapolis this week, hundreds of people gathered at several different demonstrations on Saturday. Our Jake Holter talked to protesters who shared their outrage.
Every day there's something new that is so heavy.
In a week's time, the U.S. captured the Venezuelan president, a woman was shot and killed by a federal agent in Minneapolis, and two people identified by DHS as Venezuelan immigrants were shot by federal agents here in Portland.
It really hits home, and you realize how you're not safe.
Rebecca Flaming Martin says she lives 2 miles from where the shooting in Portland took place and says she was out protesting Saturday because she doesn't like the recent moves by the U.S.
I'm very concerned that we are turning into the very kinds of countries we stood up against in prior wars, world wars.
Washington County Commissioner Nafisa Faye also in attendance at the waterfront protest.
Before, it was just being kidnapped and taken away. Now people are the fear of being killed is added to that equation.
Faye says she is concerned if she has a run-in with federal agents, how quickly she fears things could escalate.
If I don't turn around and wait for them or follow their unconstitutional command, does that mean they're going to shoot me? That's the interpretation, and that is a dangerous interpretation to facilitate by men who say that they're with the federal law.
Also Saturday, Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Dexter held a town hall in East Portland to hear constituents' concerns.
And my question, I don't know if you have an answer for this, is like, what can we do? Get a whistle, use your phone, sign up for Meagher Watch or with Perk, volunteer, take care of your people.
At one point, Dexter addressed that she would be filing articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
I had said that I was going to file articles for impeachment of Kristi Noem.
A DHS spokesperson said that the shootings in both Minneapolis and Portland were in self-defense. Jake Holter, KGW News.
On Friday, Portland Police Chief Bob Day confirmed the federal government's claim that the two people shot have ties to a Venezuelan transnational gang. Today we'll head down to Salem to hear from state Republicans' opinions on that shooting. Among the events on Saturday was a vigil at Terry Shrunk Plaza in downtown Portland. Organizers told us they wanted to offer the community a place to grieve following the shooting here locally, as well as the deadly shooting by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. They also want to send the message that people are coming together to call for change.
All of us are experiencing something right now that is bringing forth a lot of pain. Different lines of impact depending on your identities. Our black and brown siblings are being targeted. Folks are being racially profiled. That's not justice. That's not public safety.
One of the groups at the vigil, the Latino Network, was offering support to the children and families of the couple that were shot on Thursday. Attorneys with Innovation Law Lab are asking a federal court to stop ICE agents from making arrests without warrants here in Oregon. Among the plaintiffs is Hillsborough grandfather Victor Cruz, who ICE arrested despite having a work authorization and a pending visa. His family says he was arrested in mid-October in a case of mistaken identity, as federal agents were looking for another man by the same name who had a criminal history. Despite that, Innovation Law Lab claims ICE pressured Cruz to self-deport while he was detained. We have a health alert this morning. The Oregon Health Authority is investigating 2 cases of measles in Linn County. Other people may have been exposed too. These are the state's first measles cases of the year. OHA says the 2 people started developing symptoms on January 5th. They spent some time in the emergency departments at Lebanon Community Hospital and Albany General Hospital. If you were there between the times listed, you may have been exposed, and you should let your health care provider know. The holidays have come and gone, and you may have noticed more coworkers are starting to call out sick. Turns out a contagious strain of the flu may be to blame. Cases locally and across the country are on the rise. Devin Haskins brings us the impact from Clark County.
The flu season is in full swing and the virus is spreading.
It's been increasing significantly, not only in Clark County, but elsewhere in the United States as well.
Dr. Alan Melnick is Clark County's public health officer. He says this season is getting a later start than last year, but cases since December have been on the rise.
We're heading up. Our graph is going up in close comparison with the previous year.
One concern, an increase in emergency department visits. The county tracks those, and for the week of Christmas, 3.2% of ER visits were for the flu, as were 2.2% visits of hospitalizations. That's almost a 3% combined increase from the week prior.
1 out of every 30 visits to the emergency room is somebody with influenza. So there's a lot of people in the emergency room with influenza.
The virus going around this season is influenza A, a new strain of the virus referred to as subclade K, a highly contagious variant. And while he says it's too early to tell just how bad this flu season will be, he says one thing that worries him are the low vaccination rates.
And only 23% of those who are recommended have received the updated flu vaccine. And it's not much better statewide. It's at 24.7%. So that gives me concerns about a really bad flu season, just the low numbers, the low immunization numbers.
Last year in early January, vaccination rates in Clark County were also less than 25%. He says misinformation and mixed messaging could be to blame.
You know, flu is not the cold. It's not. It is a serious illness.
Statewide results are trending in the same direction as Clark County. And nationwide, the CDC says almost every state is in a high or very high activity level for the flu.